This is Football Primetime. I'm your host, Bill Dean. Of course, here with my two co-hosts, Brett and AJ. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Leave us a 5-star review, thumbs up. Slap Brett on the back as he walks the mean streets of Denver. AJ's in an apartment in, I don't know, somewhere in New Jersey, so you won't be able to find him. He's a hermit. Gentlemen. And by the way, this has been. We talk about Black Mondays, right? Or they talk about a Black Monday, and you see all the firings, and Arthur Smith gets canned, and a couple other guys that really don't mean anything, right? Then you have on Tuesday the Tennessee and Vrabel, where they essentially fire him. They couldn't trade him, or they didn't want to do the work to trade somebody, which is funny in its own right, that you could get an asset for a coach that's pretty good and is probably at the, dare I say, the top of the coaching list of available coaches. He might be him and soon to be national champion winning head coach Jim Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh would probably be 1, Vrabel 2, Belichick 3. And we'll talk about Belichick in 1 second. But so Vrabel leaves on Tuesday. Then, in just an absolute shocker, on Tuesday midday, Nick Saban up and retires, which is bonkers to me. I know he's an older guy. He's won 6 national championships with Bama, 7 altogether. The other with LSU. I don't think it's daring or bold to say he's the best college football coach of all time. And not a sniff, not a peep, nothing. You don't hear anything, and all of a sudden, just gone. Boom, whoosh, see you later. And, as a Bama fan, I do like Alabama. I've always liked Saban for the most part, and that's kind of why I root for him. But I don't know where they're going to go, and we'll have a long time to talk about this, but I think that is a shocker. And then yesterday or today, and the writing was been on the wall for a little while because you could see where there's smoke, there's fire. Bill Belichick let go. They didn't say fired. They met mutual leaving. Another thing where they couldn't find a trading partner, but whatever. And I couldn't be happier as a Jet fan, as an AFC East fan. I don't think you could be any happier. He's not going to go in within the AFC East, but. The best coach that we've ever seen in the NFL. I think that's fair to say, or at least tied for best. I never saw Vince Lombardi, but I would assume that this guy's the best, and I'm happy. Sad in respect because some of my favorite wins, very few of them, are beating Belichick, like the playoffs in 2011. I didn't so much care about this last one. No, I hated that one. We'll talk about that a little later. It's funny to see what the coaching has become, and all these guys are gone. Pete Carroll was another one. There was a little bit of rumblings at the end of the season that maybe he could be going, but it was more of step into a front office role, which I think is what happened. But for the first time, you look at the list of coaches that were around from the 90s to the 2000s to the 10s, and our football's gone. Now the eldest coach right now, I think, is Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh, and then Tomlin, and that's your new wave of coaches. So I know I rambled a little bit, but let's hear from you guys.
It really surprised me seeing the Saban news. Obviously it surprised everybody. But that one just came out of nowhere, and I mean, kudos to him because he could have had, was it the Coach K? Every game.
If he had,
and, just showered with gifts, and he kind of did it the old school way, right? With just going out, at the end of the season, right? That was time for him to kind of hang it up. I kind of respect that a little bit more than what Coach K did.
I like it,
or what a lot of these coaches and even players now do, where it's their last season, blah, blah, blah. I kind of like it, do your business, keep it private, and, kind of get the cheers and accolades kind of after. And also it doesn't distract the team, which is nice. They were so close to a national championship, playoff and or final, I should say. And I think that would have added a layer of distraction for that team. So kudos to him. And then the Vrabel firing or let go, whatever it was shocking to me. A guy that hasn't had a couple of good seasons, right? The past two, if I'm remembering correctly. But he's such a good coach, and
look at his quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, who stinks.
Exactly. And the weapons, the wide receiver weapons are not there. You have
Derrick off AJ Brown, like
Derrick Henry.
He literally only had a run game and a defense.
Yeah. But even that, Henry was declining. Obviously, he's going to be gone, right, for them. So
he got Arthur Smith a head coaching gig.
Yeah, so that's the biggest
Didn't
one.
Last very
right,
long.
Is that's true. 3 seasons, right? But that's the one that I'm actually terrified as being a Jet fan.
Patriot. Yeah. I think it's going to happen.
Back to the Patriots.
It's absolutely going to happen. The only dark horse that I could see getting it would be Gerard Mayo, who's in the building. They've talked about him being a candidate for a couple different jobs already. So if Robert Kraft likes him, he's in house. I mean, but it's hard to say. Like you have the pedigree of a guy that's been in the AFC, winning games, winning divisions with Mike Vrabel. It's 99 to 1 that he gets it versus Gerard Mayo. I would think, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so that's the one that I am worried about, and like you said, I don't understand how the Titans don't get anything for him or don't even try. Maybe they did try to contact teams, but it's kind of a little too early, I think, to maybe try and find a suitor. Maybe that's the only reason, and they figure that they are going to try and go after somebody like Harbaugh, or maybe they have.
The Titans aren't getting any of that. Right, to me, I think Harbaugh is destined for San Diego, and I don't think there's a doubt about that. To me, if he's going to leave, I think he's going to leave, hands down. It's to go to the quarterback and try to win in an AFC that actually looks a little
wide open.
Yeah. Brett, all right, where should I start with this? I guess we'll start with Saban. I truly was not that surprised. And
really,
the reason why I'm not that surprised is I think it's because of the complete landscape change that we've seen in college football in the past 2 seasons due to the transfer portal. There's no doubting that Nick Saban was the best recruiter we've ever seen when he didn't have to do the transfer portal. As soon as the transfer portal opened up, that's when the dynasty of Saban in Alabama ended. And because it adds a whole nother element. Saban's a great coach. He's a leader of men. He's there to take these men and take them to the next level. And he proved that he was amazing at that for 20 years, 17 in Alabama. And I think that extra element of having to find players NIL money and having to deal with the transfer portal and telling people like, hey, you can come to Alabama. You're not going to start. Like, that's a huge deal now for these kids coming out of high school. They want to start day one. If you tell them they're going to come to Alabama and, hey, you're not going to start until year 3, well, they're probably just not going to go to Alabama is the answer there. So
that and make the money. Yeah.
That
I disagree a little bit with that.
Well,
I disagree a little.
I think the reason why he's gone, it's 17 seasons. The landscape has changed. He would almost have to adapt his recruiting process to make sure he get these guys, not just get the players still. He's got to get players who want to stay in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for 4 years. That's the hard part with college football now.
Yeah.
So I think for him, it was more of just a natural stepping off point. Do I want to learn this new caveat and add this to my repertoire, or do I want to hang my hat with the most national championships of any college football coach and go home from there? And
he could
perfect
definitely
time
get more.
in my mind for him to step away. I mean, it would have been nice if they won it all, but they made the college football playoff. You lost to the team that won the national championship. It's okay. I mean, there's no loss of respect for him. I think, as we were saying, I think this is a good move. Yeah, it's going to be tough to see where Alabama's going to go next, but it's hard to see where any team in college football is going next because everything can change so fast now. And then when we're looking at Vrabel, You guys hit it on the head. He is going to be a Patriots head coach almost immediately. He is a clone of Belichick, even down to the clothing. Man is the only other head coach in football that wears a vest. I mean, like, it's tailor-made. He's going to be a Patriots head coach. And I mean, they do the same style of offense, not a flash, or same style of football, no flashy offenses, kind of the West Coast style that Brady and Drew Brees really perfected throughout their career, the short, intermediate passes, and then a good defense to back it up. And that's what Vrabel had in Tennessee before Tannehill. Well, they got rid of A.J. Brown, and then they didn't really have anyone to throw it anymore. But
yeah,
I think, Vrabel's going to end up in Tennessee. I'm more shocked that Tennessee and the Patriots didn't talk with each other and work out a trade between those two head coaches because...
Well, they're not going to... I heard this somewhere. Belichick's the GM, so is he going to trade himself?
Trade himself? That's a good
one. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're looking at it, I mean, it's a perfect fit for both teams. They virtually same styles on offense and defense. Seems like it would be a perfect fit for either. But maybe the reason why we're not seeing this news and buzz around Tennessee is it kind of feels like Tennessee's getting ready to hit a complete reset button. Like almost completely. So I would not be shocked if we saw Tennessee almost clean house in terms of the entire coaching staff and basically
what's funny is he's not old. It's not like you're getting rid of an old coach. Like he's got a lot of years left and a lot of football left. And I would figure you'd want to grow with someone like that. Like make him the face.
Especially
it's hard to say because we don't know what was said in those talks between not getting traded and eventually letting him go. Maybe he said he didn't want to be a part of the rebuild. Who knows? I mean, because they're not a year away. They're a couple years away. I mean, they saw some okay work from their wide receivers. Levis had some moments, but they're by no means going to be in contention next year. So I think it was also a standpoint that he probably realized this is going to be at least a 2 or 3 year project.
I think they're a dark horse for a quarterback.
I say, so then do you think that he's going to go to, or he's going to try to go to a contender then? Because if he's going to go to the Patriots, that's a rebuild too.
I think if I had to pick where Vrabel's going to go, it's going to sound a little weird, but I think he's going to go to the Falcons. I think he's going to take the job from the person who he got the job for, take it over, and
he'd go to the Patriots?
No.
Falcons. I do think he will go to the Patriots. That is the for sure landing spot. If he doesn't go to the Patriots, I could see him a perfect fit with the Falcons, mainly just because I honestly think out of all the head coaching vacancies, Atlanta might be the one that I would be the most interested in. It is probably top to bottom the best roster out of any of the head coaching vacancies available right now. And
Arthur Blank will pay.
Yeah. And all you got to do is just work out the quarterback. I mean, yes, that's a hard ask, but you don't have to go get any more weapons.
They could grab a quarterback at 8. You could get your quarterback in the future of your coach.
Yeah, they could definitely do that. If I'm a head coach, if I'm Vrabel and I don't get the Patriots job, I'm asking for the Falcons job because that's the best job on paper. Where do I think Vrabel will actually end up is probably the Patriots. But I think any head coach out there should be dying to get into Atlanta right now because the division stinks. So you're already a contender for playoffs next year at the current state of the division. Your biggest competition is Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Maybe you could make an argument for Derek Carr and the Saints, but I'm more afraid of Mayfield and the Bucks. You just got to get a quarterback that's good enough to beat Baker Mayfield and the Bucks with 3 of the best offensive weapons in football. Like Drake London would be a top 10 wide receiver if he played on almost any other team. And Kyle Pitts would probably be the best tight end in football if he was attached to, say, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson would be amazing. If I'm Bijan, I'm asking for a trade and I want to go to the Chargers. Imagine if Bijan gets traded to the Chargers and he takes over Eckler's role. So you just get all of a sudden a younger version, more explosive. But I mean, that's not going to happen. We don't need to go down to those hypotheticals. And then just ending it with Belichick news. Definitely a long time coming.
Yep.
I think we saw that one was going to happen. Definitely not a shock.
After Brady left, it was a pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know.
Easy to see him leaving there, but I think I might be one of the only people where I don't really expect him to get another head coaching job. I know a lot of people are getting him pegged in places. I think the fact that he has GM power with the Patriots and is probably going to want that is going to be a very hard sell to any other team, especially because of his track record in the draft the past few years. He has not made good personnel decisions the past 4 or 5 years. Ever since Brady's left, it's been a steady decline, not just at the quarterback position, at every position. So I don't know. I think the curtain has finally closed on Belichick. Not saying it wasn't a tremendous show. It was great, but he's just not going to be able to have the power and influence that I think he's going to want with any other team in football. Unless, I mean, wouldn't be shocked, as we already mentioned probably previously, if the Chargers did it, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers did anything, to be honest. So
they're a disaster of an organization. They really are. I mean, you have, with the one of the better quarterbacks at top 10 easy, I think, and could be even better than that. And they just seem to always have issues. That's crazy to me. What else we got? There's obviously some pretty good stuff happening with, I don't know, football coming up. I mean, we want to talk national championship real fast?
Sure.
Obviously, last week you had the semifinal games, which I don't think we all saw as a shocker. 1 and 2. I think Michigan and Washington were the two better teams. Bama, obviously, Saban going out. Jalen Milroe was terrible, and in the other game, I didn't think Texas Quinn Ewers was good at all. And Michael Penix had a game and a half. He was ridiculous, and pretty much solidified himself as a top 10 pick in the draft this year. But you come in national championship, you figure Michigan, Washington, great matchup. Michigan just destroyed them on defense, and they tackled everything. They kept them in front of them. It was a defensive beatdown, really. And Penix had to have a perfect game again in order to win that, and he just couldn't. Michigan, they built a juggernaut, and I think that's the perfect stepping point out for Jim Harbaugh. He did what he wanted to do, was go to Michigan, win a national championship.
Yeah.
Now he can go to the NFL and win a Super Bowl. And his old boys aren't available.
He should be running out of college football right now. He should be pulling what Pete Carroll did with USC years back.
Yep.
The smoke is there. Get out now. And
dark horse Seattle Seahawks for Jim Harbaugh, picking up where Pete Carroll left off. I don't like the quarterback situation, but that's not a bad one.
No, I think Brett was right.
Really,
he's going to LA.
Oh yeah, I mean he's perfect opportunity to get to your quarterback. Which if you get a quarterback in the league, you are set for life. You can do a lot of things with a good quarterback.
Yeah, with Harbaugh versus the other head coaching candidates as well, I mean, he can be a little choosy compared to the other ones. Like the other ones are just hoping that they get a job, but Harbaugh can shop around for offers and take the best one.
Vrabel's the only other guy that he would have.
Yeah, Vrabel has the pedigree. He's got the playoff wins. He turned around Tennessee when Tennessee was bad for years, so he does have that going for him. But in general, like Harbaugh can ask for what he wants. I mean, he's got the pedigree. He's already shown that he's a good NFL head coach. He had years with the 49ers. We had the Harbaugh Bowl years back. He's a good NFL coach already. That pedigree's already there. So if I'm Harbaugh, the only two teams I'm looking at would be the Falcons and the Chargers. Maybe the Seahawks, but I'd be looking at those three.
What was the other one that I liked? I mean, yeah, Falcons, Chargers.
Washington's intriguing.
You don't want to go to the Patriots. No, Chicago was the one. I think Chicago, because they're going to have a chance to get the quarterback. But I could see them absolutely being like, all right, Jim Harbaugh wants to come, be our coach. Let's see you later, Flus.
I think Washington's a good one too, though, right? Because they're going to go quarterback too.
But
I like Washington better before they gutted their defense at the trade deadline.
Fair, but I mean, if you go in right, you're taking the second best quarterback in the draft, right? Two guys that are supposed to be generational. right? You have a
Drake May is
really good
good.
wide
It depends on
receiver.
who you like more. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I think that's a good little solid rebuild you can do right there.
Yeah, but it's also, while the offense does seem a little intriguing and looks a little good just based off numbers, you do have to understand the game script that Washington was playing with for most of the year. Like, they were
Sure.
behind in almost every game, forced to pass. So yes, the offensive numbers look okay, but that's because they were coming from behind in every single game they played. So
Yep.
it looks a little intriguing, but I view Washington as almost a complete rebuild. If that's what Harbaugh wants to do and take kind of the college approach to it, and, take 4 years and build up the
It doesn't work in the NFL so much.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the path he's going to want to take, because I mean, this will be his second stint in the NFL. I would be betting that he wants to go to the team that's going to be the closest to winning a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, he's going to want not a quick one, because it's impossible to win quick, I think, in the NFL. But he's going to want one where he thinks he could do it in 3 or 4 years, and that is with the stud quarterback. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens with the coaching. It's I think this is the best set of coaches that have been available in my lifetime. You have 2 Hall of Famers and Carroll, if he wants to coach. I don't think he's gonna, but you have 2 Hall of Famers, and then 2, actually 3, if you want to count Jim, Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh's a Hall of Famer, and a really good young coach in Mike Vrabel. So very interesting. All right, so you have the coaching, and you have the national champions, and once again, Michigan. Congrats. It will be tainted. You had FSU get screwed. You have the whole issue with Michigan, so it's going to be tainted. No matter what they say, it's going to have an asterisk near it. But you can't take it away from the fans. You can't take it away from the players. They know who won the games, so that's what it is. All right, playoffs. AJ, why don't you take her away? Go over some matchups, and we'll give you guys some quick little tidbits on each. So Saturday night.
Oh, we're going to that. Okay. I had the playoff.
Wait, is there another one that's?
No, you're good.
No.
All right. So Saturday day, right at 4:30 start.
Well, true.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans. The normal Houston Texans starting playoff spot. I feel like every year, that they're in. The playoffs, right?
They're always Saturday at 4.
Game.
Yep.
This is a really good matchup.
I think it's just betting lines. I'm pretty sure it's -2 for Cleveland. Cleveland's a 2-point favorite.
I mean, this game is really, really intriguing to me. Obviously, the Houston Texans with CJ Stroud, right, and the way he's been playing. The Cleveland Browns and their story, with Flacco and all that. I kind of have my money on the Texans. I don't know why. I feel like
it's a good one.
They just have a little bit more that I like. I don't know why. It just maybe it's the CJ Stroud magic that I'm just feeling.
Smoking.
But I like him this game.
You're a Stroud boy, huh?
Well, I didn't tell you guys we're going to do this. I'm going to let you know now. We're going to be keeping track of our playoff prediction wins, and so we're going to go through each one, and we're going to write them. I'll make sure I'll keep track of them. And
all right, do we have to pick? Well, I like we'll do a little bit of a wager here, but do we have to pick? Can we do spreads, or does that have to be
no straight up
spreads? And then can we also pick the over under as our thing? I like being able to choose the over under. That's straight up.
So we'll go money line, and then we'll do money line, and then over under.
Oh, money line, and then either. Well, yeah. See, I like spreads, but okay, all right. Because there's. I mean, no one's gonna. Everyone's gonna pick the Bills, right? Like you're not gonna take the Steelers to win outright. If you get the points, maybe you will. You have to do spreads because I think spreads have to be played.
All right, so I'm taking.
There's gonna be no gamesmanship.
Well, you couldn't choose the Browns here. This is a pretty even matchup for the most part. But all right, so I'll go Texans, and I'll take them. Obviously, it's Cleveland -2, so Texans plus.
Yeah, Texans +2. Yep.
All right, hold on.
We should have written this down earlier. This is great podcasting right here.
Yep.
Over under as 44.5.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
44
go
and a half.
under.
I have.
I'm gonna go under.
Ooh, I'm taking the over on
All
this
right.
one.
So you guys are both taking the AJ. You're taking the
Okay,
under.
so I see
Bill.
2.5 for the Browns at Texans. So
All right,
Texans plus 2.5. All right, so I have the numbers. So we'll play off my numbers. So Browns plus 2.5. I mean, Texans plus 2.5, and then over under 44.5. So AJ takes the under in Texans. I'm gonna take the Browns
and I'm taking
minus
the
2.5.
Texans.
You said the Texans, right?
Yeah, I'm just reiterating.
No, not money line, but we're just working on spreads. I'm going to take the
Yeah.
Browns minus the points, and I'm going to take the over 44.5. I think this is a scoring one.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm doing the same thing that Billy is doing here. I definitely like the Browns in this one. I don't think I love Stroud. I think he's going to struggle against this Browns defense. This is a really good defense that he's about to go up against, and I just getting Amari Cooper back for the Browns. All signs point towards the Browns Ravens inevitable matchup coming forward.
I think Flacco comes down to earth a little bit.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's close. It is. It's a good play. I mean, I don't mind your play, AJ. I'll say it that way.
All right, so next game, the 8 p.m.
Well, so
game.
we'll talk about the game at all. So
versus
just
Chiefs.
quickly. So obviously Browns Texans. You got the quarterback matchup. You got old man versus young man. The defense for the Browns is legit. Texans have a really good young coach that is playing great defensive football too. I like the weapons that Texans have. Between Nico Collins, unfortunately, they're without their top guy in Tank Dell, thank you. But a couple other good guys, and the running game's playing well. I don't have any confidence in Devin Singletary, so that's why I'm going Browns running game. They have a little more versatility. All right, Dolphins at Chiefs. 4.5 point favorites for the Chiefs. Over under 44. Listen, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's still a great football player. Travis Kelce has something to prove. I'm hoping that in the playoffs he gets his head out of out from under I don't know, the limelight that he has going for him, and he needs to show on this thing. They're outside of Rashee Rice. They have zero offensive weapons. Pacheco runs like his legs are on fire. It's fantastic to watch the cat run.
Travis Kelce.
Dolphins have injuries. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That Kelce needs to have a big game because of the weapons loss that they have. You look at the Dolphins, and defense is just injury ridden. You have Chubb getting lost 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we'll see how Jalen Waddle plays coming off of injury. Tyreek Hill, his house, that's got to be in the back burner. Tua, we're seeing him in the limelight here. I don't know why, and you guys could tell, but I feel like this is going to be a lot closer, and I feel it's going to be a nail biter. And with that, I'm going Dolphins in the points, and I'm also taking the over.
All right, Billy's not allowed to go first next time because he keeps taking my picks. I also want the Dolphins in this one, and the narrative I'm going behind is I think the Chiefs have been finally proven wrong in their thought process that you don't need wide receivers. I mean, they're trying, but they completely jettisoned everybody and said that we can do it without paying wide receiver top dollar and we'll get by because we got a top tier quarterback. And it's come to bite him in the butt. And even though the narrative is that Tua cannot play in cold weather games, I think he's going to get it done. The only thing that I will be different on Billy is this is going to be the under. So I got
under.
Dolphins and the under.
Are you looking at that weather forecast?
It's going to be like -3.
Yeah, but these teams can still score.
When fully healthy, they can both score. And with weapons. But I'm still going with the under.
Okay.
All right. Well, I am going to go Chiefs with the points. I think they get at least a touchdown.
No, Chiefs aren't getting the points. Negative. Chiefs are the favorites.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. My bad. I'm going Chiefs.
Chiefs minus
5. Yes.
Okay.
Chiefs minus points. And then I'm going to take the over as well with William. I,
Okay.
I still think the Dolphins are frauds. Both teams, I think, are shaky, but I still think the Dolphins are frauds.
All right,
Oh, they're
AJ,
frauds.
you should start off the next one.
I started off the first one.
Okay, I will start off this one. It's not a fun one to talk about. Steelers Bills. Oh man,
So
You
you're
guys
going
are in
with
this
so
team,
much
right?
trouble.
this is going to be bad.
Yeah, you guys are gonna
It's
stink.
a tough one. Bills obviously not playing the best football, but they've looked better in recent weeks, mainly due to firing the offensive coordinator, shifting away from their kind of pass-heavy offense they were trying to run, going more towards the run game, and it's been working for them. But I mean, the over/under in this one kind of says it all: 36.5 points and a 10-point favorite for the Bills. I like the Steelers to at least cover the 10 points. So I'm going to take the Steelers to cover the 10, not because I think it's going to be great, but the Steelers do get Minka Fitzpatrick back. Kazi also comes back after his headhunting a couple weeks back on Michael Pittman. So we get 2 safeties back, which is a big deal for the Steelers. They've been decimated by injuries in the secondary. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen is just too turnover prone, and I'm not saying the Steelers' offense is great, but when you give a team 3 more opportunities than the other team, it comes back. Still think the Bills are going to win the game, but I think the Steelers make it close. I'm going to be bold and also take the under in this one. So Steelers are going to cover
okay.
30.
and it's going to be at the under.
All right, so
Okay.
Steelers minus 10, or sorry, Steelers plus 10 over 36, under 36. That's
gonna be rough.
36. Not a lot of points.
So TJ Watt is going to be out for this game, correct?
TJ Watt is out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is why I think I'm going to go over on the points.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a coin flip here because I could see Buffalo kind of giving them a shellacking just a little bit. No, I'm gonna do it. Let's go Bills minus 10. I'll take this.
Yep. Yeah, I'm following AJ. I'm going the over, and I'm Bills plus 10. Or Bills minus 10, sorry. Over and Bills minus 10. Listen, you have a team that's starting to play better. You have a team that, honestly, I don't think should be in the playoffs. I think that they are frauds. Listen, obviously a fantastic job by Mike Tomlin. I mean, this is probably one of his better coaching gigs. He had 3 different quarterbacks starting. He's got Mason Rudolph in his big ass forehead. I can't see that being a winning formula, and you're without your best player. So that automatically, to me, just really hurts everything that you want to do as a football team. I know the rest of the defense is good. They're competent. The offense, you could tell me all you want about the way that they play. Nope.
Bills have also been on a little bit of a roll too, so I think they won 5 or 6 straight.
Playing a lot
right?
better.
So
They have bounced back a little bit, but
yeah,
still turning the ball over more than any other team in the NFL.
that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, that 4:30 game on Sunday, Packers Cowboys. Packers. Jordan Love. Love the little stat that he's this season he would have had was a career year if he was a Bears QB.
Oh yeah,
which I think is
he'd
hilarious.
hold the franchise record if he was a Bears quarterback for most passing yards in a season.
The
Amazing.
Bears, so bad. It is so funny.
But yeah, I mean, I think he's had a pretty good first year as a starting quarterback. I love AJ Dillon and I love Aaron Jones in their backfield. They're wide receivers. I up and coming second year guys. Playing pretty well. You got the Cowboys, playing great right against the Dolphins. Even though they lost that game a few weeks ago, winning the division, I think, huge. I hate going this route, but I think I'm going to go Cowboys minus 7.
Oh. 7.5. I think 7.5.
Oh, you have a 7.5?
7.5.
All right, then that kind of changes it because I'm looking at ESPN and I got -7.
All right,
That one half
so I'm
point
going by
is gonna
CVS.
Yeah, it's a
7.5,
touchdown.
15.5.
That's
the half point is going to change it for you.
yeah. Touchdown changes it. More than touchdown.
Okay, then say it. Say you want the Packers.
I'll take the Packers.
Okay,
+7. I'll take the Packers +7.
and a half.
I think 7.5. Sorry. Yes. Bill, what do you have for totals? I have 50.5.
15.5. Yep.
I'm going to go over on the points too.
Over on the points. Okay.
I think this is going to be a little bit of a shootout.
Shootout.
Yeah.
I like it. I was going to call the same thing. Brett? All right, no, I'll go first.
Well, you go.
Well, you went first before. I think that the Packers could win this outright, so I am absolutely taking the points, 7.5 any day of the week. I do think this is an upset alert. I think that out of all the teams, the underdogs that can win, I think they have the easiest road. I think the Cowboys are frauds, and we keep saying frauds, but I think the Cowboys have issues. I think that they are very one-dimensional. Dare I say they have, one wide receiver that scares the crap out of you. Just cover them. I know it's harder said than done, but I think the Cowboys have that. Jairus Alexander has to come in off of his, his issues that he's had the last 2 weeks, and and he needs to show that he could be a top quarter because they might get rid of his, rear if they don't. And I think the Packers defense playing well. Jordan Love looks really good. I did not think that he was going to be a top quarterback, and he's proved me wrong. And I'm not about to jump off that train. And I think that he's they get the win over Dak. And I'm taking the over as well.
Okay.
I think it's a shootout as well.
I like that. I'm going a different route. I'm a fan of the unders today, and I'm not going to stop here. Reason being is look at the Cowboys' wins when they play quarterbacks that they dominate. And what I'm basically predicting here is we're going to see some first game playoff jitters from Jordan Love. Cowboys are going to jump out to an early lead. And when that tends to happen and they get a score from their defense, the over in those games do not hit because all offense completely stops. So I'm taking the Cowboys. They're going to cover that 7. But the under will be happening because I'm predicting a defensive touchdown early. That's going to stop everything.
7.5. Just want to iterate that.
7.5.
That is
7.5.
That is a decent. That's not anything to shy away from. The half point really does make a difference.
All right. Well, next we got the rematch of the trade that won the Rams the Super Bowl. We got Rams Lions. Both quarterbacks returning to their teams that drafted them and led them to where they are. This is probably the matchup I'm most intrigued by. I like this matchup. I want to see what's going to happen. At the end of the day, there's going to be a lot said about probably going into this game of what team won that trade. And if you had to ask me, I think both teams won that trade. Lions, look where the Lions are now, and look what the Rams got. Rams got their Super Bowl. Lions turned around their franchise. I can't say that either team lost that trade. It's worked out wonderfully for both of them. But at the end of the day, I still don't think that the Lions can win in the playoffs. I'm going to give my nod to the experience here. I got the Rams, but this is the shootout. This is the one that 51.5 points and only a 3-point spread. I got the Rams winning outright, so they're for sure going to cover that. And then
for sure,
I think they're going to hit the over. I wouldn't be shocked if there was 60-plus points scored in this game.
60-plus points. Okay. AJ?
So I will also go with the Rams. I like Kerwin Williams. I love Puka Nacua breaking that rookie season record, right, for receiving yards and receptions. I just think this team has won a Super Bowl before, right? They obviously don't have, some of the players are new, but this offense, I think it's kind of humming a little bit more than the Lions, especially with Laporta out. I think that's a big big key for Detroit in the passing game besides St. Brown. So I like the Rams +3. I'm going to take the under on this game, though.
All right, Billy, what do you got?
All right, so I did see 3.5.
We can switch to 3.5. That's not going to change anything for me. Does it change anything for you, AJ?
No.
So I'm taking the Rams +3.5. I think that they are a legit team. You know, they're played a lot better offensively. I think that losing Sam Laporta is a big deal. He's one of their big difference maker. I do think he's more of a difference maker than Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I just think that it's so easy for a quarterback to find that guy in the middle and make easy plays and get offenses moving. And their defense hasn't played well, and I could see this being a shootout too. So I'm going to go over 51.5. So do we all just copy each other?
No, I want the under.
Actually,
oh, that's right. You want the under.
This is the only game so far where we've all picked the same team, but we've been split 2/3 on every over-under so far. So we got one left. Billy, if you want to take it away, we'll see if we agree.
Eagles at Bucks. Listen, +3, 44 is the over. I don't know how to pick this game. It is extremely tough. Buccaneers offense has done really well under Baker Mayfield. Him and Tom Brady have like the record for Bucs quarterbacks for touchdowns and interceptions and yards, which is crazy to put those two in the same sentence. The weapons for the Bucs, I think, are on par with the Eagles. The defenses played a little better. The Eagles, they've been such a funk, and I'm gonna. Yeah, damn. See, what sucks is 3 is going to be a push because I do think that it's a three game spread. It's a perfect line. Vegas really did a good job on this one. All right, I'm gonna go with the Eagles -3. I think they're gonna get a little bit out of the funk and do just enough to win this game and take the spread, and then they're gonna get smacked next week. And I also think it's gonna be an over. I think both teams can score. Both defenses stink.
Yeah, so I think Philly does win, so I will take Philly -3. I think because they're still in a funk, we don't get the over. So I'm going to go under points here. The Bucks all season long, right? I don't think have beaten really a tough divisional, a tough team. The only one that I can say is Packers and Jags back-to-back weeks, but. So for that reason, I'm keeping the under and Philly -3.
Okay, I'm going to go a different way than you guys on the game. I actually think that the Bucks are going to win this one straight up. So I'm definitely taking the Bucks +3 here. That's a no-brainer. And I'm also going to be taking the over on this game. Reason why, you look at these two teams, there's one thing both teams struggle to do, and there's one thing that both teams have done very well throughout the season. Running the football, not exactly a strength for either team this year. Yeah, the Eagles are much better at running the football than the Bucks are. Obviously, they've created their own play, the tush push. It all looks great, but at the end of the day, both these teams are doing it through the air right now. Both fully healthy weapons on both sides, and they both have some pretty porous secondaries. So I honestly could see this game being the shootout. I don't think it's going to be quite the shootout that we're going to get from the Rams and the Lions, but I like the over, mainly just because I think there's going to be a whole lot of passing in this game. Not going to be a lot of running the football. The only team that's really going to run is going to be the Eagles. Bucks are going to be passing the whole time.
Rashad White's a good running back.
Dude.
He is a good running back, but what?
You don't worry about Jalen Hurts' finger?
That was a massive, ugly finger.
It's his ring finger. I don't know. I'd be if it was his index. If it was index finger or middle finger, I'd be very concerned.
I thought it was his middle finger.
Hold him a ball though.
Was it his middle?
I thought it was.
His comments, I think it was today or the other day, didn't sound too great either.
Well, he said today it's progressing, or I think is what he said. It's progressing in a manner or something. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever that means. He just said progressing. Oh, it does look like it's his middle finger, but I'm still not worried. I like it. I mean, if anything, what's going to happen if the finger is hurting, then the Bucks get up early, and that still fits into my script. So I'm still taking the Bucks and the over either way. Last thing I want to do for this is, before the playoffs start, Super Bowl champs. Who we got?
Ooh.
Wait, do you want Super Bowl predictions first and then champion?
If you want to do the whole thing, you can do that, but I at least want to know who you got winning it all.
So I'm going to be vanilla, and I'm going to go Ravens, 49ers.
Ugh.
I think
what a chalk play.
I think both teams are just that dominant right now. And I'm going to have the 49ers getting revenge and winning.
All right, Billy, what do you got?
I mean, obviously the two best teams are the Niners and Ravens, and I wouldn't. I got to do one team that's not in it. So, what do I want to play? Yeah, the 4 East one's just not looking so pretty. I'm gonna do Niners Chiefs with the Niners winning.
Niners Chiefs.
Niners Chiefs. I did pick the Chiefs to win, didn't I? Oh no, I took Dolphins in the points, but that doesn't mean that I could say that they aren't gonna be close. Okay.
You got Niners Chiefs, Niners winning.
Yeah, I mean Lamar doesn't scare me yet.
I want to be bold because I just want to root for Joe Flacco, but
ooh, they're a dark horse. I'd do it, man. It's fun. You get brownie points if it does.
I mean, they have the formula for teams that aren't these juggernauts to win it, and the formula is, above average quarterback play plus an elite defense, and that is what they have.
Do it. You won't.
No, you won't.
No, we're going to do it. Give me 49ers, Browns, Super Bowl. Browns winning it all.
Whoa. Wow. I like it.
Against another elite defense. Interesting. All right.
This is the year of Flacco. I mean, I can't say it any other way. The dude's played himself into arguably a contract next year. Probably almost certainly a contract.
I can't. I so hope he's the starter next year and Deshaun Watson has to sit behind him with that contract. Oh, nothing would make me so happy.
It would be fantastic.
As a Steelers fans, I want the Browns to be – I don't care if they win with – I mean, if they were going to win with Deshaun Watson, I think we would all be in agreement that we'd rather see –
oh, I'd rather –
a lot of things happen before that. But because it's Flacco and it's going to highlight their massive error of giving Watson the contract, I'm all for it.
Well, it's not only that, but it's just the fact that Watson sucks, but on top, Flacco's been awesome. They're without Bradley Chubb, their best offensive player. It's clearly just a shitstorm in the injuries that happened and everything that went wrong for this team, and the fact that they're here with missing linemen and all this, it's amazing. This is what the Jets could have been if they were just a competent organization, but they're not. So yeah.
You mean Nick Chubb?
What did I say?
Bradley Chubb. He's also out.
Yeah, Nick Chubb. Also out, but yeah. All right. Anything else for you?
You froze there for a second.
He's back.
I said, did you get a trivia or did you loaf on this one again?
No. I got trivia for you. So because this is the end of an era, Bill Belichick is the only coach in NFL history with 7 seasons of 13-plus wins. Who is the next head coach with 13 plus wins, and how many 13 plus wins did he have in his career?
Have, so past tense, so he's retired. That's good to know.
Shula?
No, it just is not Shula.
Is he active?
He's not active.
49ers, what is that, Bill Walsh?
Not Bill Walsh. You are correct, though, with the 49ers. He was a 49ers head coach.
13 plus win seasons. That's so many.
Think 90s.
That's Bill Walsh, isn't it?
Not Bill Walsh. Not Bill Walsh. So, you want me to give you a little hint on when he won the Super Bowl? He won the Super Bowl twice with the San Francisco 49ers, one in 89 and 94.
Wait, who's the coach of the Niners? I thought it was Bill Walsh.
Not Bill Walsh. He was
I
also
don't know who it is.
George Seifert.
I never would have got that one. All right.
Can you guess
Good
how
one.
many 13 plus wins he had?
5?
3.
3 is correct.
3. Oh, that's not very good.
Belichick
That's a lot of
was
stinking
7.
football. Yeah, that's
crazy,
I mean,
though,
Bill Belichick.
That
It was a perfect
Belichick
storm.
is
Patriots were the
7
perfect storm.
and- Yeah, it's true.
Listen, week 1, NFL playoffs. It is so much fun to be alive. You get to watch Joe Flacco and CJ Stroud in week 1 of playoff football. We only have 2 scrub quarterbacks. 2 scrubs because the playoffs obviously whittled down. Only Flacco and Mason Rudolph as the only 2 guys that should not be around. Should not be around, but are.
Brett, are you going to have
Brett
hard alcohol for that game?
Yeah.
Brett might need a lot.
I will say the one thing that Rudolph's been doing well as of recently is actually using Jalen Warren the way he's supposed to be used. Unlike when Trubisky was in there, he's dumping the ball off to Warren, which is what he should do almost every time he doesn't know what to do with the ball. That man is so fast. And it's been working, but yeah, no, this is an uphill battle. We ain't going to get there. Would not be shocked
Brett, you're in
if
trouble.
the Bills had 30 by halftime.
Blowout.
Kind of funny if we had another helmet game, but just saying.
Oh. Missing the 2 teams, but yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. This is Football Primetime.